If you're a regular viewer of this channel, and if you are, I sincerely admire your resilience. You'll know that I'm in the middle of a depressive cycle. It started around about the middle of May and should have ended by mid-June to the end of June, but it has continued to just drag on. The reason there hasn't been any videos apart from this one this week is because I've had probably the worst week not because anything really bad has happened. There's been no bad events. I haven't lost anybody. I've got no one left to lose. But it's just been a psychologically bad week. Starting off with Monday, I was having suicidal thoughts again. I didn't say anything to my ex-wife because I don't want her to worry, but it's really bad this week. Then on Tuesday, I had to go with her to a hydrotherapy, and I was going to do some videos, but I was too dizzy. I spent the whole day in a state of I can only describe it as being on a ship at sea in a rough sea, and that was not very nice. I was able to walk in a straight line for a few steps, and then I would sort of go off one way or the other. And I was like that the whole day. Wednesday, I just didn't want to get out of bed. I did because I had to go somewhere, but it took a Herculean effort to get out of bed, and it was a strain to get through the day. Thursday was even worse. I got up late. I put my computer on because I had my latest psychotherapy session. I do apologise. And the computer went wrong. I ended up being 10 minutes late, even though I'd had the computer on for long enough for everything to have supposedly been sorted out. And that, and having to go through the catch up, what happened since last session bit, really took it out of me, and I stayed up. I was up for about 5 hours in total, and then I just went back to bed because I was so drained, so fearful, so needing to get to a place of safety, and my bed was that place of safety. And then today, Friday, although this is being posted on the Saturday, despite the fact I had quite a lot of sleep, I've been fighting fatigue, and I've been fighting anger all day. Anger and depression and frustration and everything. And the thing is, I have no one else to talk to. I've got my therapist, and I've got my ex-wife. But sometimes my ex-wife is part of the problem, and sometimes how I feel, I can't tell her because I don't want her to worry. And to be quite honest, I really don't know, I really don't feel like I can carry on. Not like this. Something has to change. And the method I have for my dispatch is looking remarkably attractive, even though I've said that I would not do anything to myself until my ex-wife predeceases me, if that happens, or she just doesn't need me anymore. But even that is my protective factor, and even that is not doesn't seem to be enough anymore. I'll probably just try and tough it out as I normally do, but I'm not getting the right treatment. I'm not getting enough of the treatment I'm getting, and with the way people demonise people with mental ill health, especially if it affects our chances of working, it's getting too much. Anyway, that's my latest entry in the Depression Diaries. If you want to share it with someone you think might be interested, or if you found it interesting, helpful, whatever, do the usual stuff. And maybe I'll see you soon.